Not only is the PlayStation 2 still one of the best, even to this day, you have to say one, because if you say it's the best still, it's probably a debatable thing to say that it's the best ever now in 2024 when there's so many other things that you can be playing at this moment. The last couple of months, I found myself playing way more than I thought I was going to, actually. PCSX2, which is still making me sound stupid saying, but if I didn't say it, this wouldn't make sense. This is an absolute fantastic PlayStation 2 emulation program. Now, I was the type of person that just really had no motivation to get any type of upgrade, any type of anything related to the PS2. I just had the system set up. I was playing it. It was amazing still. There's really nothing bad about it. It's just the fact that there may be other ways at this point in time to actually play the PlayStation 2 in better ways. Now, the PlayStation 2 is the best-selling console of all time. I think, actually, I forget what's in second place right now, but whatever the hell it might be the Switch. Yeah, it must be. Because something's like coming up in the list or something. It seems like it's getting closer and closer. I don't know if it'll surpass it. It seems like it might. And with good reason. There are so many damn games to play on this thing that it doesn't even really have any limits to what you want to do. This is legitimately back in the generation of you could just make up a damn game in your skull. You could make it up. You didn't even know it existed. And you would walk your ass into a gaming store and the game would be there. There's so many options to play. To be honest with you, I'd even argue still that there's many games on the PlayStation 2 that still hold up quite well today. Not even related to graphics or something, because the graphics on PlayStation 2, while obviously not being as good as what we have now, they still are quite impressive when you think back to when the hell the game actually released. I honestly feel at this point that possibly the only thing better than playing this PlayStation 2 emulator is a briefcase full of freshly squeezed mango juice. The amount of options that there is available to no matter what type of PC you have, the specs you have, you might not be able to play on like 4K or something. But the amount of things you're able to do is so damn impressive that even for a person that really had no idea this even existed not even that long ago, not like PlayStation 2 emulation as a whole or something, just this specific emulator, like I was just I don't get out much. I basically never leave my house. It'd be rare if I even walk down the street to get the mail sometimes. It is very rare that I leave the house, so the fact that I did know that something that probably most people on planet Earth knew existed and I didn't is really not surprising. In fact, I would just almost think that that's just obvious. If you're probably just sitting on the fence right now wondering whether or not it's even worth doing something like this because you're having a good time just playing the original PlayStation 2, it absolutely is. And again, that's from somebody who was just a diehard original PS2 person at one point. Sometimes it almost feels like I'm going to urinate my pants when I play some of these games. After adjusting some of the settings that you have to figure out, there's also a lot of good tutorials on YouTube as well, like actual smart, intelligent people making these tutorials, not some stupid idiot like me. Even things like changing the menu color is actually very satisfying in this. This is probably, what out of all the emulators that I've personally played in the last couple of months, being this one, PS3, Xbox 360, this is definitely the most consumer-friendly one in my opinion, although there's other alright ones. It might feel overwhelming at times, especially if you don't really know what the hell is going on in front of your face for the most part. There's really not even that many settings to adjust. You just have to basically find which resolution you want to play in if you want to be able to play games in the highest frame rate possible. Now, just from my experience playing this for the last couple of months, you can play games at 60 frames per second, but some of them might drop a little bit at times. For the last couple of months that I've played this, I've only really noticed a couple of games where there would be certain times where it just looked like the frame rate was looking like you were playing in front of a beach or something. Everything was just kind of getting slower. Some games run perfectly smooth. You might not even notice some frame rate drops unless you have like the damn thing on your actual PC showing you what the frame rate is at that specific moment. But other times it's noticeable. But I don't even know if I care, because as long as I'm just sitting here doing something that is quite nice, then I will ignore it, even though that might be still annoying. Or not really. What did I just say? Adding games is quite easy as well. You wouldn't think it would be this easy. This is exactly a reason why it was so intimidating. because it seemed like it was something that was going to be so damn difficult and such a long process to do that I would never try. My arm just cracked and probably just shook the damn table because that was very loud. But this was not that difficult. Once you find all the games you want to be able to add, you just simply put them in one folder to make it easier. You go to the add games part at the top and you basically just drop them in. And that's it. The customization in this is quite impressive. Not even just the settings where it's resolution or frame rate or something, or just setting it to widescreen, which by the way you may have to change in the actual game as well. Being able to change the cover art or box art just makes this a lot more enjoyable to look at. You just basically have to find the box art on Google, or there might be like specific websites where you can find all box arts or something, but 99% of them are on Google. I was just doing this the other day trying to find actual box arts on Google for PlayStation 2 games, and it seemed like almost all of them were there. But then when you try to find one from like a newer generation, it's extinct off the internet. Anyway, after doing this for a couple of months and actually learning this program a lot more and understanding more the settings that go on with it, it is not intimidating to use at all. There are other options to play PlayStation 2 these days that don't have to do with any type of really emulation thing. You can actually buy PlayStation 2 to HDMI adapters and even the Retrovision. There may be other types of add-ons you have to buy with this specific cable that are quite expensive, and it's just, damn. This is a lot of money to do something like this, to buy the cable itself, and then you actually have to buy something else like a retro tink. Why the hell is it called that? It can be a little bit expensive to buy a specific cable, and then you have to try to buy something else to possibly get it to look as best as it can. This damn adapter that I bought on Amazon was $10. However, it's not that good. The reviews made this thing sound like it was going to be one of the best things I've ever seen or something like that. It basically just makes it work from my very... sound like a damn sheep making animal noises into the mic over here. This is just basically something that just makes the PlayStation 2 able to connect to a damn monitor or just a TV that has an HDMI cable or the actual input in the back of the damn television, because at this point in time, I don't even know if there's a damn television that's new that has like the old school composite cable. It's really nothing that's going to increase the quality, and if it does, it is so... I'm sitting there like a centimeter away from... I'm looking at the monitor like it just stole my lunch, because I didn't even think there was going to be any quality differences, and there wasn't. Now with the PlayStation 2, if you play on the original console, it's quite nice to be able to go back and actually hold the controller in your hand, because it's such a beautiful damn thing. It is amazing. PlayStation 2, it might not be the best controller ever made, but when you hold it in your hand, it's like, damn, I remember when I played this for the first damn time. If you play on PC, there's many options for controllers. I was surprised. You can find a really solid controller on Amazon for something, or what? Or something. That's what I meant to say. You can find a pretty solid controller on Amazon for like $30. It actually works quite well. You can even get ones that basically mimic what the Xbox 360 controller looked like and even felt like for the most part. You don't want to be holding anything in your hand that's uncomfortable. You want to have this damn thing that's just a buzzkill to use. You're sweating all over it. It'd be like if you use the bedroom bookshelf as a refrigerator. Makes no sense to use something like that. It's very nice to use a controller that's very nice and fits quite well in the damn hands you have. If you have like big ass ogre hands like I do or something, it's nice to use something like that. Oh, hey there. You see, one of the main reasons why this is so damn good is because you can actually play a lot of games and not have to deal with the fuzziness and static that you see on a lot of PlayStation 2 classics. I'm sitting here playing Black right now, and this is amazing. Now, the PlayStation 2 might be one of the greatest things of all time and everything, but sometimes you go back and play some of these games, and it's not like they're dated or something, but just the fact that they look a little bit old. Some of them don't look as good as you thought they did or something. Like the first time you ever played a game or something, first time you ever played Need for Speed Underground 2, you played the game, you thought it was the best looking thing you've ever seen your entire life. Almost impossible to go back after you play some of these games on the damn highest frame rate you can possibly get it, while also looking quite clean. No fuzziness, like legitimately zero. I played True Crime Streets of LA. It is insane, the difference. It almost feels like I'm playing something I've never played before in my life. The gameplay feels smooth. Nothing is laggy and a mess. It works quite well. And I can actually see in the distance. Some of these games you cannot see in the distance. Now, I'm not ever gonna sit here like some damn stupid idiot that I am or something. Some complete fool. Some idiot sitting over here talking about how I would never go back and play the original PS2 again, because I definitely will and would. It's just that some games, it's hard to go back. I'd rather drive a grocery cart in the middle of 5 o'clock traffic than to go back and play some of these games that looked a little bit old, maybe a little bit fuzzy and staticky at the time, but now they look so damn clean. It's like you're playing a remastered version of it sometimes. And specific games that really stands out. Some games you don't even, you just play it and it's just fine. You don't really notice anything of quality. But for specific genres, like racing games, it is very noticeable. I feel like this might be the most important genre to use for this specific thing. It's almost night and day. It's probably very insane to think about, actually, because when you play a racing game, maybe like Gran Turismo or something, or even Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, this is exactly what I'm talking about, when you might not even be able to see like 50 feet in front of your face. And then when you actually play on PCSX2, it looks almost brand new. Everything is so clear. It's like every type of fogginess in your eyes just disappears. It's almost like you're walking in the middle of Silent Hill, and then it just goes away. Some type of large windstorm picks up, disintegrates all the fog from the city. And that's what my eyes felt like when I was playing some of the racing games again on this emulator. The only kind of unfortunate thing, which wasn't even that unfortunate in my opinion, it just can be maybe for some people or something, but for some racing games, it does have quite a few frame rate drops at specific moments. I was playing Need for Speed Carbon. That was happening quite a bit. I don't know if it happened very much. That makes sense, right? I don't know if it played a lot when I don't know what. Now I'm just all over the place. Where was I? I should probably write notes down or something, because I have no idea where I ended it. When I was playing Gran Turismo, I don't know if I really noticed this much, but it did happen a little bit. I feel like that might be the only genre as well where you might actually get a little bit pissed off when you see some frame rate drops, because if you're in the middle of a race, everything is quite smooth. You're trying to turn a corner or something. Everything just starts to get a little bit choppy, gets a little bit slow, and then it just kind of picks up again. It's just like, damn. This is unfortunate, but it's not bad. It's something where I'm not going to expect some type of high masterpiece worthy experience when I play every single game. That's probably just unrealistic. I don't have high expectations for anything in life at this point. So if I'm going to go into anything, I'm not going to think it's going to be the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So I didn't really think it was going to be. And that's kind of where I left off. But when I was playing some open world games like Grand Theft Auto, even Scarface, is that an open world game? I feel like it might be. Maybe not as much as GTA or something, but that was amazing. I'm talking like there wasn't even really any major frame rate drops that I noticed a lot. Like not even close to the amount on some of the racing games I was playing. Need for Speed, Midnight Club. There was another one I played. What was it? How am I forgetting this? Everything was quite smooth, and that's kind of surprising, because some of these games are quite large, especially San Andreas. I still can't believe how large that game is for the time it was released, 2004. How the hell did they do that? Now, my specific PC is not the greatest that's ever been released or something. In fact, it's not even close to it. It's definitely not bad, though. I have like a 2080 Super or something. I got an i7. It works quite well. When I run games at 1440p at 60 frames per second, whichever one I can get to actually run at that frame rate, everything seems fine. It's not really making my my PC just want to kick my ass or something. Sometimes your PC gets so damn loud when you do things, it looks like it's going to explode or something, but that's not something that happened. So it's not like every racing game is going to have frame rate drops or something, and it's not like every open world game is going to function the best you've ever seen. It's just that those were the games I noticed that worked probably the best when I did play on this emulator. And I was very surprised. I already said that, but it was surprising. I was thinking that maybe this would be the type of genre of game where things would be going a little bit south, but that was not the case at all. Scarface and some of the other games that are on this that I probably am forgetting that I played, Tony Hawk's Underground. Like, yes, these games are old. I don't know what's considered old anymore. Like, what the hell is old? Is old a thing? Old as in they're like 20 years old. So I guess Yeah. And then the fact that these games still look so damn good now, it's quite impressive. Like the amount of detail that went into some of these games is amazing, man. I feel like we need to give appreciation more to a lot of developers that made games in the PlayStation 2 era. Like it's really impressive. Now we get a lot of games that release broken and a buggy mess, and that's annoying as hell. But back then, it's just like every game was a masterpiece almost for the most part. Like it was hard to find a game on PlayStation 2 that was just dog water or something. FPS games work quite well on this as well. Time Splitter 2 is a masterpiece. I've never even played that game before. I don't know if masterpiece is probably a word that I shouldn't be throwing out if I've never really played much of the game before or something, but it seemed nice. I don't think there's really a better example for... Actually, you might be able to throw the word masterpiece out for a game like this. Black on the PlayStation 2 is probably one of, if not the best, first-person shooter PlayStation 2 has ever seen. I'm running out of breath even saying that because that game is so damn impressive. First time I played this game, on the original PlayStation 2. I had a lot of fun. Second time I played a little bit of it. Didn't finish it the second time I played it or anything, but the second time I played it, I know EA was the publisher of this game. I forget the developer at this moment. I should probably look it up before I just start saying stupid things, but that was a masterpiece. Like, we're talking, this game is still to this day a first-person shooter you can go back and play and still have a lot of fun doing it. Obviously, the controls are not as updated and futuristic, if that's the right word, just updated to the point where we are currently. They're just not as good, obviously, as probably something we have now in a really good first-person shooter, but for the time this was released, like 2006 or something, it's amazing. Like, it's really hard to say any word other than amazing and incredible and masterpiece, because I feel like that's all I've been saying over here. And it seemed like these games worked quite well too, because that's basically the topic of discussion right now. Fighting or wrestling games is definitely an interesting genre of game to play, no matter what the hell you do it on, because this is, again, another genre of game where you think everything would kind of be a bit choppy at times. Everything involved in these two incredible games, I said the word incredible again, we might need to have like a damn counter of words I've said that has to define something that is quite good. I wanted to go into this and play a lot of different types of games, different styles. I wanted to go into this and see possibly if I could find a specific genre of game that maybe didn't function as good as some other ones. Really, the only games that I played that maybe had quite a few frame rate drops and just didn't perform the most perfect or something was probably racing games. Everything else, it didn't really seem like there was anything going on for the most part that was something I could say that was extremely negative or something. And that's rare coming from this guy sitting in this chair, because there's a lot of negativity in the world. And this is... What am I talking about? Huh? Stop saying weird things that have nothing to do with the actual video that I'm talking about right now. Now I'm talking to myself. Jesus Christ, what's going on over here? Look like the Joker sitting in front of Batman's control room or something right now, but there's really so many games on the PlayStation 2 that are worth playing. It's really something that isn't even related to nostalgia. Whenever you talk about something that is kind of old, people will always try to make the case sometimes that you're only talking about that because that's just something that you feel inside. You feel a special way about it. You feel like it's more important because you experienced it at a specific moment in your life. That's not the case in this. PlayStation 2 has games still that hold up today. When it just comes to the word fun and gameplay, there's really not many consoles that do it as good, or even just, it's up there. It is 100% up there for anything that has a large variety of games, no matter what year it is, because it's really just at the point now where the PlayStation 2 is over 20 years old now. It's like almost 25 years old now. And it doesn't really matter if it's 25 years, 30, hell, even if it's 50, pushing 74. The PlayStation 2 is always going to be something that is worth playing. While there may be other options to play the PlayStation 2, I just feel like deep down inside, this is probably the best way to do it. There's really nothing about the PCSX2 emulator that I feel like is just lacking. There's just something that I'm not happy with or something. It makes games work and run quite well. They look good. I'm not going to say incredible again, even though I probably could have in that. Not probably, I definitely could have. They look insane. Yeah, this is 100% probably the best way to play PlayStation 2. Or at least up there. I mean, I don't know what my opinion is worth. because I don't know anything about anything. So if I'm saying that it's the best, I have no idea how much weight that pushes. And it's just basically at the point in time in the video where my voice is getting a little bit raspy over here and I'm getting a little bit closer to the microphone and it sounds like I'm the bee from Family Guy. I'm all in your ear, buzz, 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 buzz. It's probably a good time to just simply wrap this up and say it once more. Is the PlayStation 2 worth playing still? 100%, and it always will be. Especially on this. All right, that'll be it. Have a nice night.